So we would be remiss if we didn't mention the military coup that's happening in Istanbul and Ankara and other spots in Turkey right now. The tech angle is the tech you can and cannot use if you are inside Turkey or if you're outside Turkey watching it happen live. Reports say Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube are blocked in Turkey during the reported coup attempt. But as of a little after 3 p.m. Pacific today, which is around 1 a.m. in Istanbul, we saw a lot. We still saw a lot of periscoping, a lot of Facebook Live. Twitter COO Adam Bain retweeted the Periscope Live video of Roman Helsinki of people standing on tanks. Facebook has an interactive map of live streams from within Turkey. I think maybe we can take a look at that. It's amazing.
Cool.
It's of the whole world. There's so many live streams happening in Turkey, and you can click on those and just see so many different cameras, so many people in the streets. YouTube is reportedly blocked, but Vimeo is not. Meanwhile, Turkey's president was forced to use FaceTime from his vacation on the Turkish Riviera to urge citizens to resist the coup. And if you want to use Twitter to follow what's happening, you can follow attempted military coup in Turkey from the Twitter Moments tab, and then you can see all this and more.
I think what's most interesting, and I touched on this a little bit last week, because I'm in a point right now where I don't get live television. You know, any time that all of this kind of stuff was happening over the world in the past, if it was something that I had to check out, and I knew I had to, it required me to find a television, turn it on, tune into a news channel, and you'd get some stuff on social. But ever since all of this kind of live stuff has happened, like, I mean, I hate to say that it's fortunate timing for the companies that have created these tools, but it's really, each time you really kind of recognize the value of these tools existing. I mean, looking at that map of Facebook.com/live, just that as one example, you get the map of the area. All the little blue dots represent a live feed that's happening at that very moment. We aren't living our lives in Turkey, but it's very easy to understand what the scene is there, and we're not reliant upon a news organization to, select the choice pieces of that and bring it back. It's very easy to live from my own perspective, it's very easy to live my life without a television, let's say, and still be totally tuned in to these world-changing events as they're happening.
Yeah, I mean, those of us who have been cord cutters for a long time, those of us who sort of stopped watching the nightly news, I know I did it because it was so much. They just pick out the most horrible stories and show them to you, and that's what sells. And it's unfortunate, but it's true. And it just would make you really sad if you watched the regular news all the time.
Right.
And you say it's fortunate timing. Like, horrible things have always been happening. We're just seeing them, and some are great that we're seeing them. It's really good that we're seeing them because they need to be seen. I think some of them, it feels to a lot of us like, the world is just going down the toilet. But really, we're just seeing more of it.
Yeah, we have more access to it.
Yeah, and I mean, and like you encountered last week, I mean, live video doesn't tell the whole story. There's a before, there's an after. We don't know the whole story, but it's telling a lot more of the story than we previously saw.
Mm-hmm. And you feel like you have a little bit more control. I mean, it's probably an illusion, from armchair, sitting in my chair, clicking around on the internet, and yet I'm saying that I feel like I have some control. And it's not that I feel like I have control over the situation, but I feel like I have control over my experience with that event, that I have just a little more ability to kind of get involved with it in different ways that I didn't before. I will say it's very interesting that Turkish President Erdogan, used FaceTime to do this communication. He has a very rich history of censorship of services like Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, YouTube, blocking them entirely based on content, based on whatever number of reasons, yet still relying on the internet for the FaceTime video in order to put his message out. I just thought that was kind of ironic.
Mm-hmm.